Well, well, well. Well, 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 well. One upstairs on the table in our room. Well, well, well. Here we are once again. Same place we were this time last year. If you really think about it, we really are in the same exact fucking place that we were this time last year. The same fucking place. No, team ain't no better than what it was last year. You had a coach, you got rid of him mid-season, and now you're doing the same shit all over again. You're in the same fucking boat that you were in last year. The same fucking boat. We all knew Frank Reich was going to get fired. We all knew he was going to get fired. We all knew that. I don't think anybody is fucking surprised that Frank Reich lost his job. I don't think that anybody's surprised by that. You know, when I'm sitting here and the news came across my fucking screen that Frank Reich got fired, I wasn't surprised. You know why? Because the owner is tired of being fucking embarrassed. I got some shit to talk tonight, and y'all go sit here and talk to me, man. Life is just a wave podcast, man. Big fucking waves is in the goddamn building. I'm like, hold up, man. Listen, let's be real here. There is no way that Frank Reich was going to survive this year. It was no way. It wasn't going to happen. He was not going to survive it. And why he wasn't going to survive it? Because this team should not be as bad as it is. It shouldn't be. It was too much invested, too many assets, and all different type of things that were invested this all season for the Panthers to be sitting at 1-10 through 11 fucking weeks. Through 11 weeks. 1-10. Somebody had to pay for that shit. I knew Frank Reich was gone, honestly, probably after week 6 because the team showed no progression. No progression. Y'all should have checked me out, man. I was on Sheena Quick's on X, man, formerly known as Twitter, man. I was on Sheena Quick's open mic conversation around the Panthers earlier today, and I was on there popping my shit, man, while I had a little bit of downtime between. And I wanted to go live early. For y'all motherfuckers, I wanted to go live earlier today, but the nigga had to work, man. I had to work. But I'm here to talk my shit today, man, and I got a lot of shit to talk about, man. We got some hella fucking guests that's gonna be pulling up to the goddamn channel today, man, and we go get into this shit because Frank Reich is gone. This man got fired in 11 games. That is probably the shortest tenure of a head coach's career in NFL history. Matter of fact, I think it is the shortest tenure in NFL fucking history of a head coach. This nigga is the only coach to get fired 2 years back to back. What does that say about the Panthers? What does that say about us as a football team? That we hired this motherfucker, man. That we brought this dude on. And it's all the blame on Frank Reich? It ain't all on Frank Reich. Everything is bad. I told you, if this shit got this logo on it, it's bad. There's nothing good to talk about this season. Nothing positive. I was chopping it up with my brother earlier today, and me and him was just sitting down trying to figure the shit out. What positivity can you take away from the 2023 version of the Carolina Panthers? There's nothing to take away from this season. All you're taking away with is problems. And that's all that it was. When David Tepper, when that shit came out after the game that he left the locker room and said fuck after the locker room, you knew that he was gone. But honestly, I think you fired the wrong motherfucker. Or at least you fired the wrong motherfucker at the wrong time. You should have fired Scott Fitterer. Scott Fitterer is the biggest reason why the Panthers are in the situation they are in now. Frank Reich just inherited this shit. But Scott Fitterer is the reason why the Panthers are in the situation that they're in right now. And I think he's gone. He might be gone at the end of the season. He might be gone. You know what I'm saying? They say fuck it. He might be gone at the end of this week. After we get our ass kicked by the Saints next week or Tampa Bay. He could be gone in. But my thing about it is, why wasn't he given the axe too? David Tepper cleaned house. He got rid of Josh McCown. He got rid of Deuce Staley. Niggas that ain't got nothing to do with what the fuck going on. Y'all, we have an owner that is playing no fucking games. You say what you want to say about David Tepper, but that motherfucker don't play, bro. This nigga is basically saying that the shit that the image that he's trying to portray to everybody, and he's making a statement with it. I like when my big brother said it. He said that David Tepper made a statement. The statement that he's making is, we are going to have a winning product in Carolina. I don't give a fuck how many chances I gotta swing and miss, but until we hit a fucking home run, I'm gonna keep trying my best until I figure it the fuck out. You gotta almost apply the nigga for that shit. Because he not caring about the image that he's portraying. Because honestly, the way he been firing coaches, who the fuck really would want to come here? I know if I'm serious, I wouldn't be like, damn, I need to come to Carolina because if I fuck up, I'm gone. He only gave that nigga 11 games. That's all he fucking had was 11 games to figure this shit out. That shit is scary as fuck. Nigga, you only had 11 games to prove that you got a goddamn good football team to get this bitch turned around. David Tepper not playing no fucking games, bro. He wants a winning product here in Carolina. We can talk all day about how fucked up his decision making being. We can talk all day about the bad decisions he done made, but at least give our owner credit for trying to figure the shit out. I think personally, he just need to put some football people around him. He don't got no fucking football people around him, bro. They were talking about that shit all on TV today. David Tepper needs football-minded people in his circle on whatever that council is that he sit his rich ass down with every fucking day, and they talking and they going through these conversations about what to do about this football team. He doesn't have any football knowledge people in that circle at all. It's just a bunch of old rich ass motherfuckers that nobody knows anything about how to run a goddamn organization. So, again, I'm about to drop the link, man. I know a couple people hit me up on the cell phone. We're about to drop the link in here in just a moment, man. But I want to get this open soliloquy in because I got to bring up my dogs. So, you think about it. This motherfucker gave him 11 games to turn a shit show around. 11 games. He told that mother. That's how you know that Frank Reich really, I think he knew from the beginning that he basically had to turn this shit around right away. You could tell. You could tell that he was on thin ice from the very beginning. You know why? Because Tepper wasn't even sold on the decision to bring him in. He wasn't even sold on the shit. He just brought him in off of the strength because he's quote unquote supposed to be a quarterback whisperer, a QB guru, an offensive minded, all shit that Tepper said that he wanted to bring in last offseason. That's the only reason why he came in here. But you fired the wrong motherfucker today. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have gotten fired because he deserved to be fired. But who you really should have fired is the fucking GM and Scott Fitterer. Why is he still here, bro? You should get rid of Scott Fitterer because my thing about Scott is, think about why we are where we are right now. It's all because of the decisions that Scott Fitterer has made. Scott Fitterer has fucked this team up and set this team back 3 to 4 years. Now, real time, everybody thought it was good fucking decisions. Everybody was sitting back. Yeah, man, we like these moves, man. We like this, that, and the third. Bro, none of this shit worked out. None of this shit that fucking Scott Fitterer has done has panned out. Honestly, none of it has panned out. Hey, Agent 704, I saw that today. I saw that. And I'm gonna talk about that yet, but I can't get into who the next coach is and all of that shit go be. I do have my theories and who I would like to see in Carolina, but I'm not gonna get to that yet. I gotta talk about how we got here first. We got here because of years and years and years of bad decision. from the top all the way down. Guys, we are the least talented roster in the NFL. We don't have no talent on this roster at all. We got the worst offensive line in the NFL. We got the worst supporting cast in the NFL. And right now, we got a special team coach taking over the head coaching job for the rest of the way. Oh, yeah. And remind you, we don't even got a goddamn first round pick next year. This is the worst situation that any team can be in right now, man. It's just bad in Carolina, guys. It's fucking terrible here, man. It is terrible. So, Frank Reich, you know he had to go. It was no way that he was going to be able to survive how bad this season is. And I'm not saying that he was supposed to come in here and have this team winning double-digit games. We wasn't supposed to win no 10 games this year. Everybody that was coming in here saying the Panthers was a playoff team, we was going to win 9, 10 games. What the fuck are you talking about? What are you thinking about? We were not going to win 10 games, even if Steve Wilks was here, because everybody talking about fucking Steve Wilks, and I'm tired of that shit too, man. Steve Wilks wouldn't have been able to do nothing with this roster, bro. He wouldn't have been able to do nothing. Everybody just want to talk about the culture that he brought. Listen, he just brought the keep pounding culture that we was experiencing in 2015. That's all that he was doing. He was from that old Greg Olsen, Cam Newton, Thomas Davis, Luke Kuechly. He was from that era. So he tried to bring that shit in last year. But he only won 6 games. We only won 6 games. Yeah, you couldn't have told me we fired Matt Rule. Matt Rule would have won 6 games last year. I 100% believe that. Matt Rule would have got us 6 games last year, bro. Every year he coached, he got us at least 5. So, I mean, I can believe that he would have got us 6 games. Say what you want about Matt Rule. He would have won more games this year than goddamn Frank Reich did. He really would have. He would have won more games. So when you're looking at where we are right now, the laughing stock of the NFL. The laughing fucking stock of the NFL, man. These teams is looking at Carolina like, bro, this shit is a dumpster fire, man. Like, it's problems going on within the organization. Y'all heard about the shit with Bryce Young. David Tepper wanted to bring him in. The coaching staff didn't want to bring him in. So now you asking a coach, you asking whoever comes in to take this team, they're going to have to inherit Bryce Young. They're going to inherit Bryce Young. Not going to be their guy. And I believe in Bryce Young. I believe in Bryce Young. I think that Bryce Young is going to be fine. I just think that this offense has to be tailored to his playing style. I think that the offensive line has to be able to improve. You got to put weapons around him. Because think about it. All you dumbass motherfuckers that kept saying that Bryce Young wasn't going to last in the NFL, the man has been getting killed every game. Every fucking game he's been getting hurt. Literally, like, destroyed. Did y'all see that hit that Jeffrey Simmons put on Bryce? He's been getting his ass kicked. And he's still playing. He's still playing. He's getting up. So I don't want to hear that shit about Bryce Young is not going to last. Bruh, he been getting destroyed all fucking season long. He's playing behind literally every play. I went back and watched the footage of the game on yesterday. Bruh, he been getting killed on every fucking play. Every time he snaps the ball, somebody is in his face. Bradley Bozeman was getting his ass ate the fuck up. Why is Ikam Ekwonu still a left tackle in the NFL? He's not a tackle. Move that big, slow, sloppy son of a bitch to guard because he can't protect nobody's blind side. He can't do it. Shout out to Everyday Gaming in this motherfucker, man. Before I keep going on my rant and I pull up my guest, I gotta say something, man. Hey, I want to shout out everybody, man, that's been supporting the fucking channel. Y'all already know how I appreciate everybody, man. Look, your boy is guaranteed to go live every Sunday the rest of the way after the Panthers game, man, for the rest of this season. I'm not guaranteeing shit after that. And really, only reason why I'm live right now is because it is obviously the news that's hitting. It's hot on the fucking presses right now. I don't give a fuck, man. I don't got shit to keep talking about the Panthers, man. It's the same shit over and over again. And I feel like I'm running out of shit to talk about. That's why your boy ain't been live. I ain't been motivated to talk about shit because it's the same shit over and over. Give me something positive to talk about when it comes to this football team. But this is what I need everybody to do. If you're watching the goddamn channel, man, and you want to support your boy, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to the channel. And if you already subscribed to the channel, bruh, hit the like button on this video, man. It only helps this shit grow. Help your boy get back in the algorithm. And also, if you're feeling generous, if you're feeling in the holiday fucking spirit and you want to show some love, it's not guaranteed. It's not pressing anybody. Man, y'all just send a nigga $1 on the Cash App. That's all that I'm asking you doing. The Cash App is scrolling across the screen. Anything that anybody wants to donate, man, would be greatly appreciated. I'm not like these other lame ass Panther podcasts out here, and they know who the fuck I'm talking to. I ain't calling no names out, but if your shit lame is lame. If it's a money grab, it's a money grab. Whatever, right? Anything that y'all want to do, man, send it over, man. I just appreciate everybody pulling up to the channel, bro, showing the channel some love. That's all that I really care about. But $1 Cash Apps is all I'm asking for throughout. If your boy make a good fucking point. Now I'm about to drop this link in this chat, man, because I know everybody want to get their 2 cents off. I can't wait to hear what Carl ID got. Nigga Nation is in the building. If y'all don't know about Nigga Nation, you better start knowing about Nigga Nation, because Nigga Nation is in the building. Let me finish up my rant so that I can let these guys in. So you fire your head coach. What's next? What is next? You guys believe any rumor out there? What Carl, that's why Brown is still in Carolina. Thomas Brown wanted Bryce. A couple of guys wanted Bryce. Stop with the lies. Carl ID, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I feel like this staff was forced to deal with Bryce Young. David Tepper wanted Bryce Young. The report just came out yesterday, bro. The report came out, man. Mike Florio reported that shit. The report came out. He said that Bryce Young was a favorite of the Teppers. If you look at Frank Reich and Josh McCown and the kind of quarterbacks that they worked with, CJ Stroud was always who they wanted to get. That's always who they wanted to get. Bryce Young was forced on this staff. Thomas Brown may have liked Bryce Young. He may have liked him. I didn't say he didn't like him. But you can't tell me that Bryce Young was Frank Reich's first choice. I don't believe that. I feel like Bryce Young was David Tepper's choice, and these motherfuckers didn't have nothing to do but fall in line because we have one of the most cutthroat owners in the NFL. Wright, Staley, Josh all wanted Stroud. Got to go. They all wanted Stroud. Do your research. All I do is research, Carl. That's all I do is research. Bro, it's literally there. Go watch the pre-draft interviews from McCall. Right, it's literally right there. Frank Reich and McCown said that, bro, we was going to play basketball when you get to Charlotte. That's who they wanted. But after that dinner that David Tepper had with Bryce Young and his family, they fell in love with the kid, man. They fell in love with him, and they wanted him. Bryce Young was always the consensus #1 overall pick. We're not arguing that. He was always the consensus #1 overall pick, but CJ Stroud was this regime's favorite. That's who they wanted to have. And it caused problems. You could tell. This locker room wasn't even put together. Man, bro, it was shit that came out today. I don't know. Y'all need to go on Twitter and watch all of the Panthers, reporters, insiders. Y'all need to follow them on Twitter, bro, because they all came out and said it today that, bro, there were people on this so-called quote-unquote coaching staff, this elite coaching staff that we have, that didn't even want to be part of the day-to-day functions that was going on in Carolina. They said Jim Caldwell was just pretty much showing up. That's all that he was doing. Everybody else was just doing their own fucking thing. So in my mindset, you brought all of this experience in, but none of them were really working together. You bring somebody in like Jim Caldwell, who's a veteran offensive mind, respected coach in the NFL, and you didn't see him at all. I didn't see him on the sideline, didn't even see him at practice, didn't never see him at all. And this was somebody that was supposed to be an offensive senior assistant. So he was supposed to be advising Thomas Brown, advising Frank Reich. You didn't see it. You can say what you want to say. There was some toxic shit going on in that fucking locker room behind the scenes here in Carolina. It was toxic as fuck. And it came to a head. This is a big reason why Frank Reich did not survive. He did not survive, bro. The shit got embarrassing. There were problems going on behind the scenes. There was shit going on that we didn't know nothing about between this staff and ownership. You could tell if you watch Frank Reich interviews and his press conferences, you could tell, bro. You could tell that there was some shit that he didn't. Bro, anytime a coach come out and say, I got to meet with the owner every week, and those conversations are not fun. What are you taking from that? That doesn't sound like somebody that really wanted that's having a goddamn good relationship with the owner. Most motherfuckers sit up here and say, I have great conversations with David Tepper every week. This nigga came out here and said the conversations wasn't fun. All right. I'm about to drop the link in this motherfucker, man. Y'all already know what time it is, man. Life is Just a Wave podcast, man. I am your host with the fucking most from big fucking waves, man. Y'all already know what time it is. Link is about to be dropped in here, man. Look, don't come up here on my shit talking bullshit today. Don't come up here talking bullshit. I want real, authentic analysis. I want you to break down what the fuck is going on, and I want to hear what the fuck y'all think about what we're going to do next. That's all I want to hear. So if you coming up on my shit today, you come up here with some bullshit, I'm going to kick you the fuck off. I don't give a damn who you is. I'm going to kick you off because I'm tired of talking about the same shit over and over. Break some shit down to me. Make me understand what the fuck is going on here in Carolina. I'm about to pour me up a drink. I need to pour me up a drink, man. Hold on, I'm about to drop the link. About to drop the link. Everybody hold on to their horses. What the fuck is going on with this shit? All right, man. I had to goddamn refresh this bitch. I had to refresh this bitch, but we back in this motherfucker. We back in this bitch. Shout out to Regime, man. Regime, what's good with it, bro? Link is out there in the motherfucking chat, man. Anybody want to goddamn pull up to the channel? Y'all already know what time it is, but I'm telling you right now, don't bring that bullshit up here, man. Don't bring that bullshit up here, cause I promise you, I'm in the kick a nigga out mood. I'm in the kick a nigga off mood tonight, man. I'm mad, man. My team is not doing what they supposed to do. I'm pissed off. I'm really fucking pissed off about the Panthers, bro. This shit is in shambles. This shit is in fucking shambles. I'm about to bring my nigga nation up to the channel. Nigga nation. Nigga nation. Nigga,
Natural, intellectual, go-getting achievers is in the building. Nigga Nation, how you doing, Waves?
I'm doing good, nigga nation. How are you? I heard nigga nation. I heard you just came off a vacation, nigga nation. You doing good?
Well, I'm still on vacation. You feel me? I just got back from the Bahamas, and thank God I didn't see this fucking terrible game. So we got to
Yeah.
understand something. Our offensive line is already averaging at least 4.5 sacks a game, which is fucking terrible. From my understanding, a couple guards got hurt. You got some other people in there. Bryce is going to get fucking killed behind these people, right? We got
Mm-hmm.
to understand something. Josh McCown is fucking terrible. He was terrible in the league. Why is he the quarterback coach? Get that understood. Let's go ahead and cut him out the way. Why the fuck is he even on? Why is he even on his team? He's gone. Get him out of here. Deuce Staley. Your running backs ain't producing, dog. You supposed to be this fierce old school running back and helping Sanders and Chuba progress. Sanders is a bust. And he's
He
gonna
is.
either gonna get cut or get traded, hopefully, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, like I told you in the beginning, man, this fucking Frank Reich just didn't have the locker room, bro. And it's just that simple. If you don't have that locker room, it's over for it. And people got to understand something. I like Tepper, and I understand where Tepper comes from because he's in a leadership role. I've been in leadership roles for different companies, and sometimes if you don't work out, you got to go. And it got to a point where your offense is not doing anything. The highest points you scored is 21 points when you play Miami. So you got to understand, man, it's ugly. But at the end of the day, man, we already knew what time it was. And I wouldn't say one more thing, and I'm gonna, hear everybody else got to say. I don't think Scott Fitter is gonna get fired, and this is why I say this.
Yeah, I gotta hear that.
This is why I say this. Maybe Tepper saying, "Let me just sit the fuck back and let Scott run the show." Because who to say that Scott picked these folks by his decision? It could have been Frank saying, "Hey, I want this guy, I want that guy." We don't really know. Let's keep it all the way G. Now, if he gets fired, he gets fired. It is what it is. But at the same time, three coaches he don't went through. You picked you fired Rivera and you picked the last two. Let your GM do his job. Let your GM go ahead and hire the coach. And if it don't work out, man, you still can get rid of Fitterer. But at the end of the day, who to say that those calls were his calls? It could have been Frank saying, "I want this guy." They say Deuce Staley went to pick Sanders. I mean, just certain things that we just don't know. But at the end of the day, man, it's just ugly. I'm still a Panther, nation, and still nigga nation, man. You can take it from here, man.
Man, look, I agree with what you're saying to an extent, but when is Scott Fitterer going to pay for his actions, right? Because even if there was influence from the outside parties or whatever you want to say, you know what I'm saying, what's going on, that still doesn't erase the fact that this motherfucker has made bad decisions that have not panned out. Like, we don't have any draft capital. Like, I was talking to somebody earlier today. We traded Christian McCaffrey and got all of them hauls, a draft haul of picks. What did them picks turn into? You still had to you traded up for Bryce Young, but still had to give away DJ Moore. So what did those Christian McCaffrey draft picks turn into? They didn't turn into shit.
You're absolutely
Mingo,
correct.
yeah, Mingo is a fucking bust. Jonathan Mingo is a fucking bust. I
Come
want to
on.
say that right now. He
You
can
can't you
only
can't
kick.
you can't say
You
that
ain't.
he's a bust yet if
Come on,
he hadn't
Wade.
really had the opportunity at least throwing it to him though, dog. You can't really do that.
He only can catch the ball
Yeah.
when he wide open.
He only
He
can get
can't.
he
He
only can
can't.
get the ball to him. He can only get the ball to him when actually Bryce get an opportunity to throw it.
He don't get open, bro. Bro, Adam Thielen was getting double teamed. A 33-year-old wide receiver was getting double teamed in the game. You see, you didn't watch the Tennessee game. I don't know if you went back and watched the highlights, but he was getting double teamed all game long. Bryce Young didn't have nowhere else to throw the ball to. No, nobody else, bro. They was even talking about the demographics. Shout out to those announcers that called the Panthers and Tennessee Titans game yesterday. Nobody else was getting open at all. Nobody. Nobody was getting open at all in the outside of Adam Thielen yesterday, bro. Adam Thielen was getting double teamed. Bryce Young didn't have nowhere else to throw the fucking ball. There is no other wide receiver outside of Adam Thielen on this football team, bro. DJ Shark is he's trash. And Mingo, they drafted Mingo off of the strength. And who knows? He could develop into being something, but right now he needs to extremely work on his route running abilities because he can't create separation. He can't do it. Carl ID, but I gotta hear your shit, Carl ID. Pop your shit, Carl.
Okay. Here's my first thing. Waves, I wasn't talking to you in the chat
Oh,
room.
okay.
I was talking to somebody else because they was saying something. So I was chatting with them. So it
Okay.
wasn't directed at you.
Okay.
Um, about the Mingo thing. I mean, yeah, but I mean, well, you also got to look at it. This thing with Mingo. Um, he. You got to remember how Mingo wasn't that good of a route runner in college either.
He wasn't.
So I mean, he was good at after the catch. He was good at like a simple basic routes.
Right.
So he definitely needs to get time to learn. Um, I think he shouldn't have been thrown into the fire so quickly
I
just
agree.
because he was drafted, in the second round. They still should have they still should let although we know TMJ sucked, but I still would have rather Mingo be behind him
That motherfucker can't
and
even get on
learn.
the field. Terrace Marshall Jr. can't even get on the fucking field, bruh. Like literally, with this wide receiving core, how the fuck can TMJ not get on the field, bro? Like he
That's
can,
true.
I haven't seen Terrace Marshall Jr. in any game this year. Have y'all seen Terrace Marshall Jr. in the game this season?
Yeah, I
He was in
seen
the
him.
Houston. He was in the Houston game and the Colts game, and I think that's it. I don't remember him in
No,
Dallas
he
game.
played. He played in the first game, but he really shone in the Texas game. I believe that was like the game that he really had, like, he did something. But I mean, yeah, Wes, he wasn't fucking there. So yeah, we ain't finna do this tonight. He wasn't there.
Right, that man wasn't. He wasn't
Ah,
there.
man, I'm sitting there trying to find and decide. Look, I don't even want to work that hard. He just wasn't there.
You had Josh Downs, Tank Dell, all of these other wide receivers was on the board before you drafted Jonathan Mingo. Tank
Wiley.
Dell, Tank Dell is tearing shit the fuck up down there in Houston. You know why? Because he's a burner that
well,
can stretch the field. Go ahead, Carl.
well, the thing, like I said not last week, the week before about Tank Dell, nobody thought seen this in Tank Dell, or he wouldn't have got drafted. Where he got what was it, the fourth round?
How you
Yeah,
didn't see it? Tank
they
Dell was a
was
beast at
stupid.
Houston. He was
Yeah,
a
I know, but
dog.
I know that, but I'm saying all the other 31 teams had the same mindset. They were like, "Oh, this just another guy with speed." That's why he kept
well,
getting
they
passed on.
stupid,
They thought he was just a speed guy. Yeah,
and they
yeah,
stupid.
but I mean, even the team that drafted him, Houston, bypassed him 3 times. So I mean, you got to look. I mean, sometimes it's just the luck of the draw. I
Well,
mean,
god
Yeah,
damn it,
no,
we
the
don't
team
got
was
no luck.
stupid.
Smith.
Where's our luck at, Carl? Where's our luck at? When we go goddamn get lucky and get somebody.
Hey, to keep it all the way,
Now
G. If
that's
you
a good
look at it,
question.
if you look at it, since we more than likely gonna be the sorriest team in the NFL, we technically still got a first round pick. It's just the goddamn 33rd pick. So
Oh man.
you still gonna have some good players there at the end of the day, but you got to make sure you choose them right. That's as simple as that.
Nah, hell
It's
no.
Well, that's why we
it
need.
is it is it is what it is. You got to come to reality, nigga. We ain't got no motherfucking draft picks. It is what it is.
You
You
got to
gonna
do
have to do.
something to get back in the
There's
first round, bro. We
there's
We
nothing
cannot,
you
got.
can do right now.
Don't we
bro,
got?
because
There
because
is.
because think about it
You're
like
not getting
this,
a first
y'all.
round. You already
We don't
blown the
have
game.
listen, there's no way that we can go through this next draft without a first round pick, bro.
No, at
Like
all.
we cannot do it, bro. This team is so deprived of players and talent. You cannot miss a year without a first fucking round point. And listen, I get what you saying, nigga nation, about there ain't nothing that you can do. No, there's always something that you can do to get back in the first round. You got to remember something. This team is a blank fucking canvas right now. It's a blank canvas waiting for it to be painted. However, it needs to be painted in it. However, it got to be painted. You got to do whatever you got to do. If that means getting rid of motherfuckers, get rid of whoever the fuck you need to get rid of because, bro, we're not even gonna be contending next year. We won't, even with a new coach in, even because the problems that we have cannot be fixed in one off season. It can't. The holes that we have are the size of the fucking Grand Canyon. You can't snap a band-aid on this bitch and think, oh man, just because we goddamn bring in a new coach or we bring in this, that, and the third, we gonna be ready to go. Hell no, bruh. The Panthers are not going to be realistically contenders, bro, to about that 2025 season. Because right now, everybody on the offensive line is a liability.
Yep.
Everybody. You don't have Bradley Bozeman has digressed. He was getting his ass ate the fuck up. Corbett, you might as well cut Corbett. That nigga done got two season ending injuries 2 years in a row. Get rid of him. Ikamakwanu is not a left tackle. Move his ass to guard. He's not a tackle. He can't do it, bro. I've seen enough already of Ikwanu to say he's not going to get better. He's not going to get better, bro. Ikamakwanu not getting better. And because the rest of the line is so bad, even Taylor Moton is regressing. And he was
Hey,
our best line.
Hey, Icky started to remind me of Jeff Otah.
Like,
Straight up.
seriously.
Yep.
Like, come on, bro. A shit QB who holds the ball long makes any O-line look bad. Broski Bear, what are you talking about, bro?
There's
This
nobody
man has
open.
somebody in his face every fucking play. You talking about he holding the ball too long? Who the fuck is getting open to him to throw the ball to?
They're triple teaming Adam Thielen.
Bro,
Like,
a 33-year-old in the career wide receiver is getting triple teamed because they know, other teams know that we don't have nothing else. We can't do anything else, bro. Like
nothing.
anytime a 33-year-old wide receiver is getting triple team, bro, that goes to tell you about your offense right there. You don't have anything. CLT in the building, man. CLT, what's good with it, bro?
What's up, family? Everybody good? Can I hear?
Yes, sir,
Yes,
man.
sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So I just got a few points I want to get off my chest. First off, Frank Reich. That's the main topic of the day. Yeah, he had to go, and I'm not sad to see him go, but we're gonna keep it 100% real. He was handed bullshit. He was handed straight bullshit. Wasn't able to pick his guy. Terrible offensive line. Uh, uh, no skill players, and a rookie quarterback. Um, everybody. My second point. Everybody that got fired today seems to have been Stroud people and Frank Reich people. Josh Downs obviously was a CJ Stroud guy. Frank Reich obviously was a CJ Stroud guy. Deuce Staley probably was only here because of Frank Reich, right?
That's true.
You say Deuce Staley, running backs didn't produce. Well, everything go hand in hand. We got the worst offensive line in the league, and Scott Fitter fucking elected to pay Miles Sanders, who played behind the best offensive line last year, big bucks. Stupidity. Number
Stupidity.
three.
I have the answers for that for
Number
all
three.
these players.
Number three. Scott Fitter has to go. For one, this is year 3. When he came to us, well, he was 11-5 and made the playoffs. He has since then killed all draft capital, made busts and free agencies. Uh, uh, we have a shit show for us to go into next season. We don't have we have no skilled stars. Everything that we have for us on defense is not under contract to continue with us, right?
Right.
So
Every star on
what,
defense, nobody is under contract.
nobody's under
No,
contract to continue.
everybody on 1-year deals.
So what the fuck have he done to keep his job? Nathaniel. Also, he's a fucking common denominator in the last 5 coaches. All last of these 5 coaches has had what? Scott Fitter. So why the fuck is he still here? Don't make any sense.
They don't, bro. You talk
Also,
that shit.
David Tepper is a I don't want to use too much, but he's a bonehead, bro. For one, you making this organization uh uh a laughing stock of the league, bro. Nobody wants to come here from players to coaches to GMs, bro. Because
That's facts.
how the fuck are you going to give someone a short leash when there's nothing that they came with nothing to work with, bro? You can't fire a coach that's respected around the league within the first year. You put some honor and some dignity on that shit, allow that man to finish the season, and then you fire him. You also fire the fucking GM as well. 2-for-1 special.
Right. Why
You
the
see what
fuck
the
you
fuck?
go fire the coach and not fire the GM?
You don't fire 2 coaches and not fire the GM. Make it make
You
That's
sense.
do.
crazy. That's crazy.
It don't
Oh,
make sense, bro. If we did anything, we should do what Vegas did, bro. They fired the coach and the
Well,
damn
okay.
GM, bro.
I have the answer for that whenever you're ready.
Go ahead,
I have
Christian.
the
Go ahead.
I have the answer. The reason why Scott Fitterer is not gonna get fired is because once again he has made no decisions on the players. Every player that
Bingo.
has been Scott Fitterer. I mean not Scott
Bingo.
Fitterer, but Frank Reich. Frank Reich asked for Miles Sanders because you know who picked Deontay Foreman? Scott Fitterer did. You know who wanted to bring him back? Scott Fitterer. You know who didn't want to bring him back? Frank Reich. Frank Reich, I know Frank Reich's guys. Frank Reich thought that Miles Sanders was going to be his Jonathan Taylor. But he
I
doesn't
have to say, Cam,
understand this.
that's not a fact. You can't say that's a fact, bro, because we're not in the locker
That
room right now.
definitely I definitely know this because I've watched these guys. I know Frank Reich's style of players that he likes. These type of style of players. You can tell by the style of players that Scott Fitterer like because I saw him in Seattle. Mingo fits what Scott Fitterer likes because he's a deep threat. We play him in a wrong position. That's why he's not successful. They're trying to make him a route runner. He's DK Metcalf. That's the type of style of wide receiver he is. Miles Sanders is a second, third down back. He's not an every down back, and that's what he thought. That's what Frank Reich thought that he was,
But how
and
many
he
coaches
picked
are you
him.
going to allow Scott Fitter to pass
No,
the
but
game on, bro?
I'm not saying that Scott deserves to be the GM. I think he should be fired as well. But we're gonna be truthful. Matt Rule chose most of those players. You knew who was a Scott Fitterer pick, and you knew who was a Matt Rule pick. It's just common
I don't
sense. You
know.
have to. I know because because you can
I don't
tell
know.
on the guys. You can
I feel
tell
like
on the
Matt Rule
guys.
ran free agency when he brought over Hassan Reddick and shit
No,
like
that
that.
wasn't
But
his.
them
But that
draft picks,
wasn't
that
really
shit on Scott
him.
Fitter.
But that really wasn't on him.
Bro,
Guys that he wanted was Scott Fitter brought in some good guys. Now he made some mistakes. Absolutely, he's made some bonehead mistakes. But these guys, I'm not blaming on Scott Fitter because Scott Fitter would never brought in DJ Chark. That guy fits what Frank wants to do. Miles Sanders is what Frank wants to do. Because look at
you
Scott
can't
Fitter's
say DJ Chark
record.
because he just leftovers, bro. It was all that was left on the
I
playing
understand.
field.
Yeah,
I
that's
no,
that's
I
true. That's
get that,
true,
but that's
Christian.
but
Yeah, that's true.
I get that, but I know these guys. I know his tendencies. I watch the league. I study these guys. I know what a Frank Reich move because a Frank Reich thought that DJ Chark was going to be his Michael Pittman. That's what he
Yep.
tried. I can tell that's what he's trying to do. That's what I'm trying to explain. I don't have to be there to know. I know football.
So
I know his tendencies. I don't
so
have to be there
Christian.
to know.
So Christian. So okay. So where does the accountability come in for Scott Fitterer then? Because my thing about it is, even if you didn't choose these people, you okay the decisions, right? Like ultimately,
Yep.
the GM is the one who's still cutting the paycheck, bro. When it comes to these players. So
Also,
if you okay the decisions, you are just as responsible as them because
Absolutely.
you had to sit down in
okay
the
with you
room.
saying you okay with the Bishop to not being your number one,
But
or your
but
burden
no,
or whatever.
I'm not saying
You had to okay the
he's
decision to trade Christian McCaffrey and DJ Moore.
right. But no, that DJ Moore thing. That wasn't on
That's
Scott.
Scott. That's all
That
Scott.
was not on
Draft
Scott.
That's
trades
all
is all
Scott. That's all
GM.
Scott.
Yeah,
Hey,
draft
that
trades
one
is
I'm
all
not gonna put
GM.
on Scott.
I don't
From
think
what
a former
Tepper had
quarterback
said,
would elect to draft a
he
quarterback
got
and trade his number one receiver. That's common sense.
Bruh, Scott Fitter even said that he was talking to Ryan Poles for several times to make the deal happen. That trade to number one and to give up DJ Moore, that's all Scott Fitterer, bro. That's all Scott. That's all Scott, bro. To trade Christian McCaffrey away and to get what you got in return from McCaffrey, which to me is now looking like a bad trade because McCaffrey has shown that he is staying healthy. He is still putting up all these good ass numbers, and then for the picks that you got for him, you don't have shit to show for it. I'm
Well,
asking
with the
you, Christian, where does the accountability come in for Scott Fitter? Somebody just tell me that.
I just want to say before we move forward, but we gotta hold Scott Fitter accountable because when we selected him, they said he's the trade daddy. Da 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 da. If you think about what we would have kept and what we would have been at, where the fuck we would be, we would have Chris McCaffrey on the field, we would have DJ Moore on the fucking field, and we would have had one of the top three quarterbacks. Either, I feel like Levis, Stroud, or motherfucking Bryce would have worked with those players still on the team with the defense that we have. So we had a quarterback and a supporting cast. He traded the supporting cast and went to go get the smallest fucking quarterback.
So,
But
but my
it's
thing
not
about
a
it is, I don't. Okay, so this is how I feel about that. I'm not mad at the move to go get Bryce Young. That's not what I'm upset about. I think to me, you had to go get a quarterback last year. So if you
Yep.
would have got CJ or Bryce, you had to go get one. I'm not
Yep.
upset with the idea to trade to number one because no matter what, you had to get a quarterback, no matter what you gave up. What I don't agree though with is fast forwarding it before, rewinding it before that, you had an opportunity to trade Brian Burns for 2 first round picks, which ultimately would have saved you giving up DJ Moore in that draft pick to trade up to number one. I
True.
feel like I feel like it wasn't the it wasn't a bad decision to trade up to go get Bryce Young because if you was high on him, you was high on him at the end of the day.
right.
But what I feel like was the what you gave up to get them didn't really necessarily need to happen if you would have made the moves you were supposed to make before then. Because really, Chicago was in a situation where they was like, look, if y'all want to come up to get number one, y'all go give us whatever the fuck you want to give us. So they demanded whatever the fuck they wanted to demand because they knew the Panthers was in a situation where they had to get a quarterback. So if you would have traded Brian Burns to the Rams when they offered us 2 first round fucking picks for him last season around this time, if you would have
Yep.
gave up what you would have gave up then, you wouldn't have been in a situation to have to give up DJ Moore to get to the number one overall pick.
Yeah, but let's keep it all the way G. Even if you traded Brian Burns, who the fuck is gonna get the sacks? Nobody's getting that many sacks right now on the defensive side of the
Bruh, he
ball.
not even getting that many
Right,
sacks.
right, and we
Right, he
still
got
we
six.
still we
He
still
not
still
even getting
have
that many sacks. That man
And
got
that's
six
not a
sacks
yeah,
through 11 games.
right.
Through
His
11
defense
But
games,
hasn't
he
been
only
the
got
that's
problem.
6 sacks.
that's understandable. But at the end of the day, who is falling behind that? Besides, in that position, who's getting that?
It
So
should have
if you
been
if
Hassan Reddick. You should have resigned Hassan Reddick
no, no,
and
no,
not
no, no,
let
no,
him
no, no,
walk.
no, no, no,
And
no. See,
Matt
that's
or
what's right.
who
See,
didn't want
see, this is
him.
what we have to understand. We got fuck the past. We talking about right now.
No,
Fuck
the
Reddick.
past
Man,
is
he
the
been gone.
reason why we're
Man,
at
he's
where we're
gone.
at. Sometimes you got to look where you came from to figure out where you are, nigga nation. You got to look back from where the steps that you took to get to where you are. And that's what we're doing today. The bad decisions that were made over the last couple of seasons is the reason we're at where we're at. Yeah, we can't do nothing about them, but you got to talk about and think about it wasn't just this past season is not the reason why we're sitting at 1-11. The decisions that were
Right,
made this past off season are not the reason why we're sitting at 1-10. It was because of years of bad decisions that forced them to make more bad decisions is the reason why we're sitting at 1-10 right now. So you got to go back. You got to look in the mirror and say, well, goddamn, if we never would have traded for CJ Henderson and gave picks up for that, if you never would have gave picks up for trading for
Yep.
Sam Darnold, if you never would have gave picks up for trading for Baker Mayfield, if
yep,
you never would have gave up, if you would have resigned Stephon Gilmore, if you would have resigned uh 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 um Hassan Reddick, you wouldn't be in the situations that you're in right now. You don't have to take a Derek Brown at 8 because you still got motherfucking 2 defensive ends that can go and get it. Not saying that Derek Brown not like that. I like Derek Brown. He done grown up. But if you really think about it, our last 3 drafts, man, and Bryce Young is still up in the air, but really we haven't hit on our last 3 or 4 drafts with our first pick. We really haven't hit on them because ain't none of those players altering the franchise. None of them are. You got J.C. Horn, who still got hurt in week 1. It's week 11. He's still not back on the field.
Should have took
Still
Patrick
not back.
Surtain.
And then you got to ask yourself too, man. On all those trades that you just named, and as far as what it panned out to, name one
What?
trade that he won on.
Right. You didn't win on any of those trades. None of those trades panned out in the Panthers' favor. None of those trades panned out in the. That's why I said Scott Fitterer has to be held accountable because all of the moves, even if it wasn't your decision to do, you still signed off on those decisions, and those decisions have put us another 2 to 3 years behind the curve to even playing complimentary or playing competitive football here in Carolina, man.
The only
But Ways, I
trade that
agree
he
though.
won on was Gilly for a 6th-round pick, and the stupid motherfucker couldn't retain him next year.
Couldn't even retain him. Didn't want to pay him $12 million. Didn't want to pay
Matt Rule didn't
an
want to
elite,
pay him 12
a
million.
former defensive player of the year. Oh, also, he's been gone from the Panthers for 2 seasons, and he's still starting, even at this late in his career. He's still starting. You didn't want to pay him. Hassan Reddick got us 9 sacks more than Brian Burns that season, and you let him walk. And guess who you drafted? Yetur Gross-Matos?
Oh, another Matt Rule decision.
You get what I'm saying? So the point that I'm making here to all my surfers out there is that the reason we're at where we're at today is not because we just hired Frank Reich or we bought in all these bum ass free agents this all season. It goes back. It goes back to the decisions that were made over a collective of the last 3 seasons. And to me, the only person that's still around outside of the owner, and you can't do shit with David Tepper, is Scott Fitterer. He's the only person that you can blame really for what the fuck has been going on. So
Well, there's a
you done
couple other
fired
people
2
too.
coaches and then kept the GM. No, you got to get rid of him.
Yep. But wait, I don't agree though with
Scott is
the
next.
point of Frank got a bad hand and he's a respected coach. First of all, Frank Wright is an ass coach from the jump. He done nothing in Indianapolis. He's
Facts.
not a guru. Doug Peterson is the one that's the real coach, and not him. First of
No,
all,
that
he got
That's
handpicked.
not entirely true. That's not entirely true. That Doug Peterson was not the only play caller in Philly. Frank was
But
called.
Yeah,
Frank
he
was
Frank
was.
calling
Wright
half
is
He
of
was
those
calling
Frank
plays
plays.
Wright
too.
He was
is
calling
Frank.
plays.
Look,
But they
man,
had a
look.
good team though,
Frank Wright.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
Frank
sure
Wright
When
is
you
did.
had
Yeah,
not.
they
Frank
sure
Wright,
did.
in order for him to succeed, every time that he was succeeding, he had a great quarterback.
That's
Every
And
true.
he
time.
had
Yeah,
talent
that's
on the
true.
team.
That's
And he
true.
had
And it
talent.
was
He
an
had a good
all-star
offensive
talent.
line. The Eagles have
Right.
always had a good O line. He's always had a good quarterback. Those have been the only times he's succeeded. Even in the career of
With
Phillip
Phillip
Rivers, he was
Rivers.
able to even do a little bit more. So Frank, listen. I'm not saying that Frank Wright is the only reason why we're bad. He's not. But I also feel like the reason why he got fired is because we shouldn't be this bad, right? Like
That's
And
true.
he picked his team. He picked
if
his
we would have
team.
won, if we would have won 4 games, let's say right now we're sitting at 4-8 instead of goddamn 1-10, or we sitting at 4-7 instead of 110. Frank Wright keeps his job.
Then
He
you gotta
keeps his
think.
job.
Yeah, I gotta think about this too, right? A few weeks ago came out that David Tepper said that he feels the team is not assembled right. Who's responsible for assembling the team?
The
The
GM.
GM.
And him and the coach, because the coach chose these niggas too. He's
Yeah,
not
that's true.
Frank Wright. That's the part that look. It's both of them. We gonna say both of them. We need to say both parties
Scott Fitter
because
had
both
3 years.
parties,
Frank White had 11 games.
bro.
that
He picked his team though.
nigga
That's
got
not
fired
he.
in 11 games.
Dog,
God
he picked these
damn.
dudes. David Tepper opened up his wallet and he said, "Hey, get whoever you want." And he said, "Get whoever you want." And he gave him the checkbook like a dummy, which was dumb. But he gave Frank Wright the checkbook, and he got the people he wanted. And obviously, there's been beef within the system. Like I've been saying this for months, that
Yeah.
there's a disconnect. Where the hell is Jim Caldwell? You see the two people Two people have fired the people close to Frank because you know why? Because they never got a chance to really get the opportunity to help Bryce.
But you
That's
gotta think
fact.
Jim
about it too, bro.
Caldwell.
That gotta fall on David Tepper and fucking Scott Fitter as well. Because if you know for a fact that you want Bryce Young, you get the coach that matches him, and that's a Ben Johnson. That's a
You don't want
Ken,
to be here.
you know.
Yeah.
But I'm saying you
So
gotta get all
I think you gotta be aggressive with trying to go get Ben Johnson
but
this
you gotta have
offseason
a
though.
young offensive
yeah, you
minded coach. You
do.
don't get no old coach that want a typical quarterback, a
Who
prototypical
just got
quarterback.
fired. And he
Yeah.
just got fired, by the
But
way.
if you're gonna do that, you give him his guy, which is Stroud. That you don't make decisions and don't align, if that makes sense.
I agree with that.
But
I agree
nobody,
with that.
but I could tell you why he did that because everybody was gone by the time it was time to get hired. David Tepper had no choice. He had pity. He had a pity hire, and that's on him. That's on him personally because you should have been more aggressive, in my honest opinion. He wasted time with Sean Payton, and when I at least been saying that was a waste of time.
But to be so aggressive as a owner, you can't be 30-70. You gotta be all in, bro. And if you gonna goddamn be impatient, you gotta give a nigga 100% control of what the fuck you telling him to complete. Especially if you're
Now
gonna cut him off in 11 games.
now CLT, you make a good point too. Because I think that that's I think that that's something that we're not talking about either, is that maybe David Tepper should have let this regime cook. You know what I'm saying? Like like really looking at it, like despite how we feel about Frank Reich's ability to coach this football team and develop Bryce Young, but maybe they should have let him draft Stroud. And I honestly do not think, and I do not think that they wanted Bryce Young. I don't believe that
Okay,
They
this
didn't.
coaching
They
staff didn't
didn't
want
I,
want
Bryce
him.
Young. They
I'm a
didn't.
They
bet.
didn't. It
I'm
was split.
Go ahead,
Yeah, it
Carl.
was split. It was split. It was split. I'm telling you, it was split. It wasn't this. See, that's the problem with a lot of Panther fans. They go on any and every rumor that they hear. Somebody somebody put it without doing their research, or if they don't have any sources or some um or anything, they'll go by whatever the first thing that they hear. That's no. Um everybody the whole coaching staff was not on CJ Stroud. It was like a split thing. You had
Yep.
some that wanted Stroud, you had others that wanted Price. And this that's what I'm sick of, I'm sick and tired of hearing that. That's in the past. CJ Stroud is not walking through that door, folks. You have Bryce Young now. So we might as well whether we fucked up or not, we gotta deal with the consequences.
We understand what we got. We just speaking on the components. You know what I'm saying? This is a part of him being fired, bro.
Yeah,
If
Well,
you
not really,
that's
not
true.
really. He just sucked it. Not really, like the other dude said. His he sucked as a coach. He wasn't doing what
Yeah.
he promised David Tepper he was gonna do. He wasn't doing what he promised the fans he was gonna do. It was Frank Reich who was out there preaching about hyping up the team more than anybody.
but can you agree that his leash should not have been as short if he didn't have 100% creative control?
He did though.
No, he did not.
He had
Yeah,
a
he
lot of
did.
control though.
I mean,
He
hold
No
did
on,
have
hold
more
fucking
on,
control than
way.
we
bro.
think.
Bro, we gotta
No, he
stop
didn't,
saying
bro.
that. Dude picked
Yeah,
everybody
exactly.
on this team. He got the
Cap,
chip with the bringing every
cap.
guy that he wanted. That's
I
not
That
don't
cap
think
because
he
that
he got
had
the
I don't
team.
think he had as much control as y'all saying. I think he did have some, but I think that he was being micromanaged the whole time by David Tepper,
you can
bro.
say the
No, that's
coaching
not true. He
you can
wasn't
say the
being Mike.
coaching
No, that's
staff.
not true, Ray
You can say
Waves. He
the
wasn't being
coaching staff, but
micromanaged by
personnel.
the whole
No,
time.
he was
You
not
can't.
getting as micromanaged as y'all think he was.
Omar,
He
Exactly.
pull
I'm
was.
up.
trying to.
It's
Omar,
not as that.
Omar, pull up,
Bro,
Omar.
what
It's
coach?
not as
He said he got a
micromanaged
meeting
as
with the
he.
owner every week. Who does that?
Right. I'm
But
gonna
it
be
don't.
honest. No coach meets with the owner every
Hey,
week.
but we
If I
don't know. But we don't know what other teams do though.
Now we do
exactly.
know. We do know. We do know.
Who? Okay.
If you know
Okay.
football, no coaches ever came out and said that they meet with the owner every single week.
Well, they ain't gonna say that.
Why
Yeah,
He
like
wouldn't
they,
might
they?
the only nigga that
That was
Why
do.
just
wouldn't
because
Frank.
they?
why?
Why wouldn't they though?
Because my thing about it is, why would you meet with the owner every single week?
Nah, I
Like
know
at the
for
end
a
of the day,
fact
they
Jerry
hired you.
Jones do that.
Like let's keep it real, bro. If you working, if you hired these people to go out there and do a job, right? The only time I would be meeting with my team, and I've been in management and leadership, Only time I'm meeting with my team is when we're not performing at the way that we need to perform, right? That's the only time that I'm sitting there meeting them, or if I'm giving them some type of recognition, or if it was something like that. But outside of that, you got to let the people you hired, man, to put in place in these positions. You got to let them cook, bro, because
What
ultimately
about
they're a reflection of you. Like if you hire these motherfuckers and they don't come out and do what they're supposed to do, that's a reflection of the people that hired them, bro. That's
what
not that's
about
not a
telling a
reflection.
nigga that never played a down of football every week? What
That's what
about
I'm
telling him?
saying. What are you going to talk to him about? You bro, and even
But
Frank Wright
that
came out
shouldn't
his
matter
mouth.
though.
It shouldn't matter, but Christian, think about it. Frank Wright even came out his mouth and said that the conversations with David Tepper are not fun. He
Oh,
came out and said it. He
What
said
Some
the
that.
owners,
product?
some owners
I
are
get that,
hands
but the
on, and
product
some
not
owners.
fun.
He said some
If
owners
Of
you
are
course,
hands
it's
losing
not
on,
gonna
and
be
some
fun.
owners
Of
want
course,
to know
it's not gonna be
everything.
fun. Of
when you
course, it's not gonna
suck,
be fun if you lose it all the time.
But
right?
that's what
yeah,
It
I'm
ain't gonna
that's
be
the
yeah,
point
fun.
that
and
I'm trying to
That's
tell to
what
you,
I'm
bro. He
saying.
had a short ass leash, bro. Like to
But
me,
dog,
when we
you
didn't win a
see this
game in the
too,
preseason, when we didn't win a game in the preseason, I knew this season was going to shit. Like we didn't,
Bro,
we
like I
didn't.
told y'all, he didn't have the
but
locker room, bro. Just that
right,
simple. He didn't have the
he
locker room. I'm not
don't.
gonna follow a soft ass leader, dog.
I
Right.
agree. I
He
No
agree.
shouldn't
grown
have
ass,
got the job
no
from the
real
point.
Bro, soft or
no real
not, bro, you
football.
soft or not, bro, you getting paid a check. If your ass don't, you don't get a check next year. So what are you talking about?
that's why he's
Dog.
gone. That's one reason why he's
He's
I'm talking
gone.
gone,
about
bro.
It's true.
players. I'm talking about players. What the fuck? If they don't produce this year, they don't get paid next year. So what the fuck
But
they got to do with
dog,
a soft owner, a soft leader? Nigga, you got to go produce every year
If
to
you
get
can't bring that player out, if you
the
as a
fuck.
coach, if you can't
Nigga,
bring
you
that the
are a
best out of a
player.
player,
You're
it's
getting paid in the
over.
National Football
Hold up.
League.
Let me say.
Nobody
Let me
tried to
say
motivate
something
you.
about that. Let me say. Hold on, y'all. I ain't mean to cut y'all, but let me say something about that. I'm a coach. I coach youth football. I'm nowhere near on the level of NFL, but let me tell you something about coaching. Right. When it comes to coaching, it's all about the culture you build for your football team. Right.
thank you.
If you're not building a culture that everybody can buy into, or if everybody respects, then you're absolutely right. That can be toxic. But to CLT's point, at the end of the day, the players got to go out there and perform no matter what, especially when you're getting paid millions and millions of dollars to go do this shit. There's no excuse for that shit, right? Like, and honestly, that's why I said success of any football team is always collaborative. And I even use this shit with when me and coaching little league football. It's a collaboration between parents, players, and coaches. In the NFL, it's between coaches, ownership, and players. If those three things are not on the same wind, if everybody's not on the same page about everything, you're not going to see it succeed. The reason why the Eagles right now are so successful is because they have great ownership, they have a great roster, and they have great coaching. That's the reason why they are so successful right now. The reason why the Chiefs are at the level that they are because they have great players, they have great ownership, and they have great coaching. You need all three of those to survive in today's NFL. And if you're missing one component of that, you're not going to succeed. That's just how it works.
All I'm
Yeah,
gonna say,
that's
just
true.
me
That's
personally, bro.
true.
If millions can't motivate me, nothing that a person says to me can motivate me. Just simple as that.
But that's not what
But when
all
you
it
already
takes.
got
Frank
millions,
should have
though, bro,
never
when you already
been
got
there though.
millions, when you already got millions, because it's hard for NFL coaches, bro. When you already got millions and you trying to convince grown ass men to go out there that's already paid to go out there and perform, it's hard. Like to nigga nation's point, you need a strong voice in that motherfucker to say, I
Yeah,
don't give a fuck how rich y'all motherfuckers is. Y'all got to go out there and goddamn win some game. If not, you gonna be sitting on this goddamn bench. I don't
that's
give a
true.
damn.
There you go.
You got to have a voice like that in the locker room that
That's
motherfuckers
all I'm
respect.
saying.
You got to
Exactly.
say what you want to
Exactly.
say about Ron Rivera, but he held his players accountable. He
And he
did.
Yes,
cussed
he
their
did.
ass out. He cussed their ass out. You
Right.
feel me?
He held his players fucking accountable. You remember when he benched Cam for one half because Cam didn't want to go to the dress code. Oh, motherfucker, you don't want to. You think because you the starting quarterback, if you're not getting it, if you're not buying into what the fuck the culture I'm trying to build here, I don't give a fuck who you are. Sit your bitch ass down. I don't give a damn. And that's the kind of coach. But players can respect that, bro. And if they
Yeah, they
can't buy
can.
into it, then they gone.
And
Yeah,
it's a
Right.
different type of generation that's coming into this league. You got to understand, it's a whole different type of generation that's coming into this league. And if you're not that coach that's gonna get on that ass, you're gonna get your ass ran over as a coach. And that's exactly what happened to Frank Reich.
I
Simple.
agree.
Right.
I
There's
agree.
no
I
bingo.
agree.
culture.
Bingo.
He's a bland dude. He first of all, Frank, I'm sick and tired. Look, I get it. This guy does not deserve any type of bail. He was
Yeah,
given the
he was trash.
opportunity.
Yeah, he
He
was
was
trash.
given the reins.
Look how they won their first game, and he had that little
Right.
bullshit in the locker room. That shit was weak as fuck.
Right.
Yeah,
It
man.
was
It was
weak.
yeah.
You
I'm not
gotta
gonna
be a
lie, man.
dog to
Frank,
be a coach. Simple as that.
Right.
I want it to
Right.
be known that Frank Reich absolutely deserved to be fired. He did. Like
We
one, it
agree.
ain't even no question because this team should not have been 1-10.
We
Like there's
agree.
no way coming
None.
into the season that you could have convinced me this team would only win one game.
That's
All
true.
I'm saying
That
is he wasn't the only person that's supposed to be fired, man.
Nah, he's not. And I agree with that too. I honestly believe that Scott Fitter, and I still think Scott Fitter was going to get fired. I
Oh
think
yeah,
all of
I
the
do too.
I think he's probably going to get fired at the end of the season, but I think that he's going to get fired too because there's no way you can't change the culture with still having pieces from an old culture in. You can't do that because if you're getting a coach that's coming in, you need to bring somebody that he's going to be able to talk to every single day that he can be on the same page with.
Hmm.
So in my mind, you gotta fire Scott Fitterer. You have
Yep.
to.
Yep. And the
And
training
leads me to
staff.
my next point, fellas, and I want to get to that, man. But I got to do a quick, commercial break right quick, man. Let me go ahead and do my shout outs, man. Shout out to everybody, man, that's tuning in to Life is Just a Wave podcast, man. We got one of the realest platform casts in here, man. We got Nigga Nation in the building. CLT, the legend, is in the fucking building. Carl ID in the building. Christian is always pulling up to the goddamn channel. Shout out to everybody that's showing love in here. Hey, look, if you're new to the channel, if this is your first time viewing Life is Just a Wave podcast, man, subscribe. We about to touch goddamn 1,000 subscribers in this motherfucker. Y'all help me get there. And for the people that's been surfers since day one, hit the like button on this goddamn video. And if you feeling super generous today, no pressure, man. Send me $1 over to that Cash App, man. The Cash App's scrolling across the screen if you feel like doing it. Y'all already know what time it is. Let's go ahead and get into this next segment, man. So the coach is fired. Let's say, in theory, Scott Fitter is going to be fired because I feel like he's going to be fired too. I think it's going to happen at the end of the year. I think Scott is gone. Who would y'all like to see as the next head coach of the Panthers and the next GM of the Panthers?
Ijaro.
All right. So Carl D said he want to see Ejiro as the next head coach. All
Me,
right.
per-
Hey, I'm gonna
me
tell you
personally,
right now, if the Bills want to sit here and goddamn find McDermott, come on back home.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a damn good one.
me personally, I would
Oh,
say it's between three candidates. I would
let
go.
me. Oh, before you, before you go, that means he might bring Beanie back.
Who that? Are you
Y'all
talking
remember
about
Beanie?
Ken Dorsey?
McDermott. No, if McDermott
Oh, you
get
talking about
fired,
Brandon
would
Bean?
he
Brandon
come
Bean.
back to
Yeah, Brandon
Carolina? He
Bean.
might
Brandon
need to
Bean.
whip from the general manager. Yeah, he
So
might bring Bean back.
So Nigga Nation says Scott McDermott if he gets fired, or Sean
Oh, go
McDermott if
ahead,
he
Drew.
gets fired.
That's all I was saying.
Christian, who do you want to see?
I want to see Evero get the job, man.
Okay.
That's who I
All
want
right.
to see. GM. I think we should get a young GM.
All right. CLT, who you want to see, bro?
I want Harbaugh,
John Harbaugh from Michigan.
Michigan.
Ah, that's interesting. That right there is actually interesting.
Yeah,
That's
that's
in,
it.
that's interesting. That's really interesting, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all who I want to see in here. Right. So I got a couple of people, man, that I wrote down, man, that I want to see in here. Um, Number one, you got to go get Ben Johnson from Detroit. I think in today's NFL,
I'm
you
with
have seen you've seen enough proof that young creative offensive minds are thriving in the NFL. Look at McDaniel down there in Miami.
you.
Shane
Yeah.
Steichen is going to turn the Colts around. Jonathan Gannon, look at the job he's done with the Cardinals, even when they didn't have their quarterback all year long. Like you have to go get a young offensive minded guy that can develop Bryce Young. The job that uh my boy from Detroit has done with that Lions offense, with Jared Goff and reviving his career, I think that he would be the perfect fit to come in here and coach Carolina. And then he's already part of a strong culture because of what Campbell has implemented over there in Detroit. So I know that he can bring a hard nosed type culture here to Carolina. That would be my number one. My number one GM to replace Scott Fitterer is two options. Maybe you promote Dan Morgan. Maybe Dan Morgan will be a good GM. You tie him in. He's our assistant GM right now. Suleiman that we already got on the within. So I got two candidates to promote within, and outside, go get Lewis Riddick. Lewis Riddick will be a great GM. He just needed an opportunity. He just needed an opportunity. So my second coach, who I say that you got to go and get, I think you got to go get that offensive coordinator from the Eagles. That offensive coordinator from what's his name? I think his name Johnson too. The offensive coordinator currently for the Eagles right now. I think that he'd
Yeah,
be a good.
name is Bob. Ain't his
Yeah,
name Bob?
yeah. Let me see what his name is.
I think his name Bob.
Let's see what his name is. Brian Johnson. Yeah, Brian Johnson. I think you can
Oh,
go get
Brian.
him.
Brian. Damn, I was way
Brian
off.
Johnson will be a good fit here in Carolina. Black coach. He come from that Eagle, a winning organization. He knows what it takes to build a culture. I think Brian Johnson will be a good fit to work with Bryce Young. You see what he done with Jalen Hurts. He done a phenomenal job with Jalen Hurts in that offense, playing to his strength. Everybody thought Jalen Hurts was going to be written off after his rookie season. I think he would be a great person to come in here to work with Bryce Young and help him continue to develop. Uh, and then after that, man, I think if you're gonna go defensive minded coach, I think you got to give Evero a shot as long as he can bring in a great offensive coordinator. So those would be my top three right now. Obviously, those might change as the season progresses, but right now, Ben Johnson to me is my number one pick to replace Frank Reich as our head coach. I think he
Hey,
interviewed for the. Go ahead.
go ahead. Hey, it's kind of funny how we talking about who the next head coach gonna be.
That's crazy, right? And it's still 6 weeks left in the season.
What a fucking shit show. I love to be a Panthers fan, boy. I swear to God.
And we done had these same conversation less than 5 months ago.
Right. 2 years in a row, we done had the same fucking conversation. Two fucking seasons in a row, we done had the same conversation about who the hell we think is gonna be our next head coach. Maybe Steve Wilkes will come back.
You know what's
Maybe
sad though?
maybe you can
We
go
gon'
get
we,
Steve
we
Wilkes.
gonna get excited again, hoping that this new coach can come in and build a new regime. But can you really get excited after you seen this shit this year and knowing what the fuck he had to put together?
But bro, you can't get no worse than where you are, though, bro. That like to me, that's the only thing that's giving me any type of like positive thoughts. You can't be worse than 1-10. Like the only thing you can read worse than that is 0-17. Like you can't be any worse than where we are right now. Everybody that's out there, you can't get any worse than what we done seen this season. And do I think the Panthers are going to win another game? I don't know. Maybe Chris Tabor. I don't know how I feel about him being the interim coach, but maybe David Tepper saw something that we didn't see. Maybe he gets this team to play hard like Steve Wilkes had them play hard at the end of last year. I don't know, man. I'm interested to see what the team looks like next week under Chris Tabor.
All I'm saying is, I don't think we're gonna have a real shot to be not even a real shot, but any kind of shot to be good until 2025. So you basically saying we gotta, well, me personally, I'm saying that we gotta waste another year of life watching these motherfuckers again next year. Be terrible, you know.
Yeah, man.
So
It ain't even no question about us being fucking good. We are not a good football team. And Scott Fitterer has to be fired. Frank Reich was the first domino to fall. They got rid of Josh McCown and Deuce Staley. Like, I mean, I understand that, man, but I think James Campen, man. How y'all feel about that offensive line coach, bro, and how bad the offensive line has regressed? Like, to me, I'm
That's
gonna
a,
be honest with you. Offensive line has become a priority for the Panthers now. You gotta go in free agency, man. You gotta go spend some money and get some free agent offensive linemen.
but then
You
we
I
got
mean,
to.
I
retained
mean,
him.
it, I
We
mean that
retained him from last year, and he had one of the top
that's a
offensive line
need.
last year, right?
That's a need period in the league, man. I mean, that's something that every team needs at this point because you got to think about it. That's the highest thing that a team needs. You need somebody that's going to protect that quarterback.
Yeah, but the good teams spend the money on the offensive lineman. The reason why Patrick Mahomes don't get hit like that is because they spend money in the offseason to go get the best offensive lineman that's out there on the market. You got to protect your investment, man. Like, despite what y'all want to say about Bryce Young's size, the motherfucker keep getting up. CLT, he keeps getting up and he getting whacked.
Well,
He,
I can agree. I can agree. The little motherfucker got heart. I ain't
yeah, the
gonna.
motherfucker he's getting whacked every game on average, 4 sacks a game. Appreciate Nigga Nation for that stat. 4 sacks a game, and he's still getting up. He missed one game with an ankle injury he probably could have played through, but as bad as he been getting beat, the motherfucker is still getting up. I don't
what
want
that
to
nigga,
hear shit about that side shit with Bryce Young, bro, because
what
he's
Stacy
taking a
say?
fucking beating.
Beat the little nigga ass the other day. He took it like a G.
Right. Jeffrey Simmons was on that nigga face every bro. We allowing, bro. We getting defensive linemen paid. Like we're getting this nigga got 3 sacks in one game, a D tackle. We're getting players that we're playing against. We're getting them paid. We're making players that are not even that good. We're making them look like elite players when they play the Panthers. We're putting money in motherfuckers' pocket. I know when teams, man, I know every team that we about to play for the rest of the year. Like, goddamn, but we about to play the fucking Panthers, bro.
Yeah, but
We about to get paid.
every player on our team has regressed. It seems like the offensive line regressed.
Yep.
Brian Burns regressed.
Only
Jeremy
person that hasn't is Chuba.
uh, Jeremy Chin has regressed. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah,
like
I'll
bro,
give you that.
everybody has regressed, bro.
Yeah,
Nobody took a leap this year.
I'll give you that, bro. I'll 100% give you that, dog. I will give you that. Everybody on the team has fucking. The only thing that looked good is the special teams, and that's probably why the special teams coach got promoted, man, to interim head coach, man. But I don't got shit else to say, man. I really don't have nothing else to say, man. I mean, I knew Frank Wright was going to get fired. I knew this was going to happen. I mean, we were too bad. Like the Panthers shouldn't be this fucking bad. Tear the entire thing down, get a GM first, then get him a higher head coach. I 100% agree, Mr. Pugh. I think that the Panthers have done this process so wrong over all of these years, and that's the reason we're in the situation that we're in right now because we fucked the process up. We fucked it up. We had opportunities to do it right and to fix it to at least to a point where it wasn't this bad, but we fucked it up. And I can give you a laundry list of bad problems and decisions that we've made to why we are where we are right now. But the biggest thing, guys, before I get up off of this motherfucker, we got to understand is this. Until our owner makes the right decisions at the top, this is going to be a constant trend for the Panthers. We got to make better decisions at the top. We got to. I don't see that how in hell you go through the upcoming draft without one first round pick and you literally are the worst team in the NFL. That to me, you can't do it. You got to trade somebody away to get back in the first round. At this point, it doesn't even matter. Why even pay Brian Burns? It makes no sense to pay Brian Burns. You're going to give him 20 plus million a year to be on a team that's coming off of a one, which I don't see us winning any other games unless, this Chris Tabor comes in and just does the unthinkable over these last 6 games. But I don't see us winning any other games. So a 1-17, 16 team, you're gonna pay a man 20 plus million to be on a team that's gonna be rebuilding for the next couple of years, coming in with a new head coach, new GM. Why?
It don't look like he's gonna crack double digits this year either.
Right. So why would you pay him big amount of money like that? It makes no sense. Trade the man away. If anything, do it for him. At this point, do it for him, bro. Because he's just wasting years here in Carolina, just like Christian McCaffrey was doing. You can call those trades bad trades, but guys, we did those players a favor, man. This shit is a fucking Titanic, a sinking fucking ship. The worst team in the NFL. We are the modern day Cleveland Browns. The modern day Cleveland Browns. Everything that we touch turns to shit. Every single thing. I have nothing to be excited about. I don't give a fuck how bad y'all sit up here and talk about me, how I'm bashing the Panthers. Give me something positive to talk about. The only thing really good that I can say is that our owner, what's up, people over here from the C3 pod, the real C3 AP. What is up? C3 AP is in the building. Appreciate you sliding to the channel, my guy, for real, man. I really do appreciate you. Y'all make sure to go check out C3 podcast as well, man. Y'all go show them boys some love. But when you really sit down and break it down, we are in the worst situation that you can be in as an NFL football franchise. We have a uber aggressive owner who doesn't know anything about football. You have a rookie quarterback whose development has been stunted, his growth has been stunted because of no support. His confidence is being killed because he's being hit multiple times a game. He doesn't have any supporting cast around him. And he has an in-depth coaching staff.
You gotta think about it too, man. Our owner is the second most talked about owner, and we're the worst franchise. The first obviously gonna be Jerry Jones, but other than that, you don't hear about owners like that. We hear about our owner almost every fucking week on major platforms.
So when you look at, and on top of that, we don't have a first round draft pick next year. All of your star players on defense are all coming to the end of their rookie deals. You don't have Brian Burns under contract. Derek Brown is coming up on a contract year. J.C. Horn will be on a contract year next year. Jeremy Chin will be on a contract next year. Frankie Louisville is going to have to get paid. Shy Smith is not even on the NFL roster. Why was he even on ours? Brandon Smith is not even on the NFL roster. Why did we draft him? DJ Johnson, why did we draft him? The rookie that we drafted in the third round from Florida State, haven't seen him all season. We can't even hit in the draft. We can't. That's on the GM and coaching staff and the scout team. Our scout team is bad. Our scouts are terrible. Our motherfucking training staff is terrible. We are one of the most injured teams in the NFL this season. We got more players on injury reserve than any fucking team in the NFL. They can't even keep our players healthy. 5 players went down on Sunday with injuries. Corbett leaves, comes back, and gets hurt again. Brady Christensen, still not back. J.C. Horn, still not back. Everything that has this logo on it is bad. Every single thing. Even the fucking stadium is bad.
Yeah.
The stadium is outdated. We had an owner that was supposed to be building us practice facilities. Couldn't even get the deal done. And you the richest motherfucker in the NFL. Don't make no sense. Guys, the Carolina Panthers are in bad shape. We are in bad fucking shape. You got decisions that got to be made right now. Our roster looks like Swiss cheese. You don't have a number one wide receiver on your roster right now. You don't have a number one tight end on your roster right now. You barely even got a number one running back on your roster right now. You don't have an offensive lineman that's graded in the top 50 in the NFL. What do we have? We don't have anything. You spent all of that money on free agents, ain't none of them panned out. Von Bell got hurt last week on Sunday. Everybody is either banged up or just playing like trash. Guys, give me something positive to talk about. I'm tired of coming on here week after week and talking about the same issues we've been talking about for the last 4 to 5 seasons, guys. This is why I don't go live like that no more. This is why I'm not consistent with the content because I don't have anything to talk about. It's the same stuff week in and week out. I mean, you had the most experienced coaching staff in the NFL on paper, and what did it get you? It got you a 1-10 season start. This is by far the worst fucking season in Carolina Panthers history. It's the worst one. This is the worst season in Carolina Panthers history. Because even when we went 1-15, the Jimmy Clausen years or the George Seifert years when we were bad then, at least we had a number one pick to look forward to. That produced Julius Peppers. The Jimmy Clausen year produced Cam Newton. You don't have anything. Like literally, you don't. You could have traded Brian Burns away at the trade deadline. You decided to keep him. He only has 6 sacks on the season through 11 weeks. But you about to pay this man 20 plus million a year to sit on the roster and rot away? Guys, y'all go ahead and put in y'all last word. I got to get the fuck up out of here, man. I can't. I don't have anything else to say about this football team. Only thing that I'm looking forward to for the rest of the season, guys, and the only reason why I'm going to watch this game because I'm hoping that my rookie quarterback can at least start to gain some confidence and start showing some improvement over these final 6 games of the year. Like that's all I'm hoping. And if he keeps getting killed the way he's getting killed, you might as well start Andy Dalton and preserve Bryce Young for next season, man. Like if we can't protect him or the offense, Thomas Brown and these guys can't put him in a situation where he's not getting hit the way he's getting hit, you might as well just put in Sam Darnold over the last couple of games of the season. And put the cherry on top. The Atlanta Falcons are winning our division with a losing record. That's the slap in the fucking face. They're winning a division as bad as we've been this year. We're only 4 games out from leading the goddamn division.
We so bad that we didn't even think
We
about that. I didn't even know that. I didn't know that we
We
were
are
that
yeah,
bad.
so
we could
fucking
still
terrible.
win it. In a
We are
weird way,
so
we could
fucking
still win it.
terrible. And this
But we're
division is
not.
so terrible. We are only 4 games out from winning the NFC South. That's
Yep.
how bad the NFC South is. The
Yep.
Falcons are winning division with a 5-6 record. 5-6. We are only 4 games out from being in first place in the NFC South.
Seriously, if we actually win out waves, in a weird set. That would be weird, and I would probably be like, you know what? Hey,
Y'all didn't think about this shit, did you?
well, I knew it earlier because I saw it
Four
earlier.
games.
Because
We're only 4 games out from being in first place in the NFC South.
yeah,
But are we going to get there? Nah,
no,
we're not going to get there, guys. We may win the last game of the season when all of the starters get benched. Like that Miami game, because at that point they probably will have the season locked up. But y'all go ahead and get y'all last word in, man. I'm about to close it down because I ain't got shit else to say. Nigga Nation, go ahead with your last word.
Yeah, we just got to join the ride, man. And it is what it is. Unfortunately, we talking about new coaches in week 12 or 13. Shit, well, and I look at it like this, Waves. I got an early birthday gift. My boy Frank fired. So all we got to do is just make sure we goddamn choose the right person and understand that you're going to have to keep rocking with the team until we figure this shit out. That's all, fellas. And remember, keep nigga nation first.
That man said keep nigga nation first. I can dig it. Hey, can you tell us what nigga nation stands for one more time before we get up out of here?
Natural, intellectual, go-getting achievers.
There we go. Christian, final words.
man, it's gonna be a weird season now, even more weird. But just to let everybody know, Tabor does not want to be the coach. Sheena put that out there. He's just
Oh
filling
yeah, the
in the
press
season.
conference is tomorrow for everybody. I ain't mean to cut you off, courtesy, but I
Yeah,
want to let everybody know David Tepper and Tabor's press conference is at 10:30 a.m. tomorrow. Everybody tune in. I don't care if you at work, wherever you at. I got to hear what David Tepper has to say. I have to hear what Tepper has to say, and I hope somebody asks him about Scott Fitter. The press conference, Tabor and David Tepper's press conferences are tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Y'all make sure y'all tune in. Tune in. Go ahead, Christian.
yeah. So Sheena, she put out that Tabor does not want to be the head coach. He's just filling in, and that he would go back to being, his original place uh, whenever they pick the coach. So, so anybody that thinks Tabor wants to be the head coach, he does not want the job. I believe Evero didn't want the job because I don't think he wanted to do the interim situation at all, and I'm glad he didn't take that because they always do that to black coaches where they got to take the interim coach job just for them not to get it. So I'm glad he didn't do that. Stick to what you're doing. Let's see how we ride out. I think we're gonna play with a sense of pride now, because we got somebody that's gonna bring some culture in here and some fire in here. So we'll win probably 4 games. That's all.
All right. CLT, go ahead and break it down, bro.
I just want to say, man, first off, it's sad that a person got to make it clear so their reputation don't become tarnished that they don't want the head coaching position here in Carolina. So before y'all give me flack, let me go on and say I don't want it. Um, as fans, we got to take our heart out of this season. We kind of got to detach our heart from the goddamn team until our owner goddamn get some sense. You know what I'm saying? Till he start making the right decisions. Uh, week in, week out, I'm just hoping that the final bell is rung and Scott Fitter is gone as well. Um, that's the only thing I'm really looking for the rest of the season because I feel like we got to break it all the way down to start over. And I don't think we can get better with Scott Fitter as our GM because I feel like the same thing is gonna happen over and over again. Um, but just keep pounding, man, and just keep supporting our team. You know, that's about it.
All right, man. Call ID. Call ID, man. Final word.
All right. But first, I want to ask the panel something. Um, what do y'all think about something that I heard today? What's y'all? I want y'all thoughts. Tabor is going to let Thomas and Edgero do their thing. He's not going to, like, unlike Frank, he's not going to be in their ear stuff. He's just going to sit back and let them do them. Well, how do y'all feel about that? Do y'all think that's the right choice to do for him to do, or what?
I mean, at this point, I mean, he's not the fucking coach, so shit. Hey,
Like I just said, that's just ultimately saying I don't want this position. I'm only taking it because I have to. That's me putting my hands up and saying, y'all go ahead and do what you want to do. That's like a badass toddler keep running around the house. Fuck it, do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's
man. Yeah,
Well, yeah, I
it's
told you they didn't want the job. They didn't
yeah.
want the job. He don't want the job. He wanted to
I'm
do his
surprised that they
special
didn't.
team.
I'm surprised they didn't give it to Evero though.
I know, no, everyone probably
Yeah,
most likely didn't want to do it because that's the black coach thing
yeah.
that
It
they
really is.
always
It
do.
really is. It really is. You're
And
right
he
about that.
probably didn't want that. He didn't want that, and I'm glad he didn't take it.
Yep.
I said,
I'm with
thank
you.
God.
I'm with you.
That's a
Well,
kick
man,
in the
look,
backside.
fellas, as always, I appreciate y'all coming up to the channel, showing love, showing the support, man. Shout out to everybody, man, that was in the chat today, man. Hey, look, again, if you're new to the channel, you like what you did today, man, hit that subscribe button, hit the like on this video. Also, man, y'all feeling generous, man. Always look, Cash App is always there, whatever you want to donate. I'll be live again Sunday after the Tampa Bay game. That's who we play on Sunday.
yeah. No,
Uh,
wait a minute. Is it Tampa Bay?
is
Yeah.
it Tampa? Yeah, I think we got
Oh,
Tampa
okay.
Bay Sunday. So I will be live again on Sunday after that game, probably around 4ish or something like that. Hell, if I feel like it, you know what I'm saying? So, uh, we'll be keeping our eyes out to what David Tepper has to say tomorrow, man. Y'all look at my community section because I'm pretty sure I'm going to recap some of the talking points that he said in that press conference tomorrow morning. But yeah, man, y'all just keep fucking with the boy, man. Life is just a way podcast, man. Appreciate everybody pulling up the real C3 AP. Appreciate you pulling up courtesy as always, Jerome, man, Supernova, everybody that pulled up to the channel today, Mr. Pugh, Saloon. Until next time, man. Life is just a wave. Holla at everybody later, yo.
All right.